Philadelphia Eagles are the 2025 Super Bowl champs. Thank you, Allie. Why is that important here? Well, an NFL insider has linked Josh Sweat, who is a part of the Philadelphia Eagles team, currently just won the Super Bowl, to come to the New England Patriots. This would be a huge move, one of the biggest for the Patriots in NFL free agency if they could sign Josh Sweat. So what would it look like? We're going to break that down here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. On the back half, going to give another update on a really big free agent, so stay tuned for that. We will be live later today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, so look for this thumbnail. It'll be on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. If you guys will be joining, go on ahead, spam Pats down below on today's video. That way, myself, Lopez, we can kind of gauge how many people are going to be joining us, and I'll give you guys a shout out. Spam Pats as many times as you possibly can in the comment section down below. Josh Sweat, obviously a pivotal piece for the Philadelphia Eagles to take down the Chiefs for the Super Bowl. I mean, he wreaked havoc on Patty Mahomes. Although I guess it wasn't too hard. Patrick Mahomes got hit more times than not on the big stage. But Josh Sweat was a force to be reckoned with throughout the entire season. And when you're looking at this Super Bowl champion right now, over the course of 2024, having 41 tackles, 8 sacks, the team high was tied between Dietrich Wise Jr. and Keon White for 5 team sacks. I mean, Josh Sweat is still producing game in and game out, and he's 6'5", 265 pounds. I mean, the guy is a wall. For the last couple of years, what he's been able to do as an edge rusher is knowing that he sits around that 40, 50 tackle mark. The TFL's pretty standard. Between 15, 7, and 9, the sacks are right there. He's not getting any worse, not getting a lot better, but the pass breakups with 2 this last season as well. I think Josh Sweat would be paired up fantastically, if that's a word or not, with Keon White on both ends here for the Patriots 3-4 front. I think that he'd be able to bring a certain type of pressure that we have been lacking just a little bit from the defensive line and the linebackers. So why is an NFL insider linking Sweat to the Patriots? Well, let's break it down. Here's what Bleacher Report had to say. At 27 years old, Sweat will arguably be the best edge rusher on the market, which signifies significant monetary value. Granted, the 6-year veteran has never top 10 sacks in a regular season and has a significant injury history, which you do kind of have to keep in mind here moving forward. But he's clearly fine now and good enough to dismantle the Chiefs when presented with a favorable one-on-one matchup. Sweat may not get as big of a deal as free agent status dictates typically, but he'll still be highly sought after, and a potential fit would be the New England Patriots. I really want to hone in on that there because I do think that with a former top 10 defense the Patriots did have, with a new defensive coordinator in Terrell Williams, with young pieces like your Anthony Jennings, like your Christian Barmores and your Keon Whites. That's just the 3-4 front. We haven't even touched on Christian Gonzalez and your Alex Austins in the secondary. I think Josh Sweat would fit perfectly to help bring this top 20 defense back into the top 10. Just look at what we could work with here with Josh Sweat on your edge. Keep in mind, still having Keon White paired right in front of Josh Sweat would just bring havoc to quarterbacks every single game. Anthony Jennings did a really good job of stuffing the gaps and being a play disruptor. Jelani Tavai, while he may not be the favorite for a lot of Patriots fans right now, he still did have a pretty productive towards the end of the season. Same thing here with Christian Ellis. So Josh Sweat, what Bleacher Report said is that he may not have the highest monetary value in terms of free agency, but like a Tee Higgins possibly, just because he does have that injury history. They're expecting Josh Sweat to sign about an $82 million deal over the course of 4 years. So he's looking for his next long-term home. And at 27 years old, if you can lock down Josh Sweat up until he's 31, I mean, that would be a game changer for Terrell Williams in his first year as a defensive coordinator. And I would take that deal right now if I was Josh Sweat. So my question to you guys here, it probably is a no-brainer to a lot of you guys. Should the Patriots sign Josh Sweat? Type S for sign, type P for pass. I mean, this guy has a fresh new Super Bowl ring on his finger. He would absolutely be a game changer for New England. But coming up, let's give you guys the latest on the offense in free agency. Tee Higgins, who a lot of you guys are keeping tabs on. You want him to come to New England. You might not like what I have to say. Let me break that down here in just a moment. But I do want to go ahead and talk about whether or not Tee Higgins could possibly be leaving the Cincinnati Bengals. That is where we really want to harp on because, yes, he's entering free agency, but the Bengals do also still have an interest in Tee Higgins, possibly bringing him back. And here's what Higgins had to say about his pending free agency that is set to start. Obviously, we want to build something here in Cincy, but it's not in my hands right now. So I've got to do what I need to do. If that goes to another team, then that's what happens. So he's very aware that, look, this is business. He wants to stay in Cincinnati, keep growing with Joe Burrow and with Jamar Chase, but if he goes to another team, he's going to provide for that next team. He's going to be a highly sought-after free agent, and he's going to be expensive. NFL insiders are suggesting that he will make $32 to $35 million for the next team. That's going to be a very hefty contract, but thankfully the Patriots should be the favorite because they have $130 million in cap space. But the question here is, can the Bengals afford him? Can the Bengals keep Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Tee Higgins all happy with money? History says no, because that's why Tee Higgins wanted out this past year. But they signed him to that cap space, and now the Cincinnati Bengals have to move something around to possibly keep those three superstars. And Joe Burrow, even talking about the Bengals trio, he agreed. He said, look, we've had those preliminary discussions. It's really early in the offseason, so those guys and their agents will start to have those discussions coming up. But we're confident. Does that mean you in the front office, Joe? That we're going to be able to do what it takes. We all want to stay together, so we want to make it work. So I don't know if Joe Burrow is putting words into the Cincinnati's front office's mouths or if Joe Burrow is actually working with the GM and the head coach to possibly retain all three guys. But it sounds like Joe Burrow is pretty confident that they can keep Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins and make everybody happy. So let me know. Rank your confidence in the Patriots landing Tee Higgins. 1 as in no chance, no way will that ever happen. 10 as in yes, he will be a Patriot next season. I think regardless, there is no doubt the Patriots are going to try to obtain Tee Higgins. They've already said they want to go out and get a top receiver. There is nobody better right now on the market other than Tee Higgins. So I know Elliott Wolf's going to make that call. But whether or not Tee Higgins will be available outside of the Bengals franchise, that's still up for discussion because they can still re-sign him too. So Diana Rossini broke down what she's hearing from Cincinnati and around the league. If they fail to come to an agreement, it is likely the Patriots, Panthers, Commanders, or Broncos are willing to meet Higgins' demand. For any of those quarterbacks, he would provide a desperately needed passing option. It is obtainable for Sweat and Tee Higgins to both come to New England. Is it likely? Gets a little bit more complicated as we start to look at the money of things. Josh Sweat obviously not going to cost as much as Tee Higgins will, but if you're going to offer Josh Sweat first, I mean, Tee Higgins might end up going with another team that could possibly offer him more in this offseason. So if you had to pick one free agent, I know it's opposite side of the football. I know they both definitely have different attributes here. Which one would you rather have on the Patriots this upcoming year? Type JS for Josh Sweat, type TH for Tee Higgins. Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if they do make a move, we'll talk about it right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. So if you guys haven't already, go on ahead and subscribe.